Well, we've got the EuroNASCAR Pro Division, 7th round of the NASCAR Wheel and Euro Series from Automotodrom Grobnik in Croatia coming up very shortly. Very picturesque circuit that was built in the 1970s in just 2 months. Welcomes fans for the first time, albeit it's our second ever visit here. Previously in EuroNASCAR Pro, well, we opened up our championship season at Circuit Ricardo Tormo in Spain, where Alan Day and Loris Hazemans were wheel to wheel for the vast majority of the weekend, but it would be Loris Hazemans that would come through to claim 2 victories in the opening 2 races of the season. After Spain, it was on to the NASCAR Grand Prix of the United Kingdom, where Loris Hazemans and Alan Day were again going wheel to wheel. It would be Alan Day that would come through in the first race of the weekend to claim his first victory of the season. In the second race of the weekend, though, it was Hazemans that was out front and starting to battle away. Alan Day was in second place, but things were about to go from bad to worse for the former champion as he retired the number 88 car with mechanical problems. So Loris Hazemans would come through to claim the win, his 3rd of the season and his 3rd in 4 races. On to Most and the Czech Republic next in what were very changeable weather conditions over the course of the weekend. Loris Hazemans out front and leading the race in the early stages, but as things started to get wet out there on track, everybody had to dive for the pit lane. They were on slick tyres trying to drive in these awful conditions. It was a real lottery, but Alan Day and the team did a great job to service the car, change the tyres, and he would come through for his 2nd victory of the season in what was a real team effort from Cal Racing. The second race of the weekend was held in dry conditions, and Alan Day was looking to try and make it 2 out of 2, but problems again befell the number 88 Cal Racing prepared Monster Energy backed Chevy. He would slow down out on track and would ultimately drop way down through the order. There was a great fight going on for 2nd and 3rd, though, between Loris Hazemans and Sebastian Bleeky-Molen, which just gave Vittorio Garelli enough of a gap to extend his lead, and he would come through to claim a victory, his first career win at the top flight of European NASCAR. Hazemans continues to lead the championship from Vittorio Garelli now in 2nd place, and Gianmarco Ercoli is 3rd. As ever, we've got the 2 championships here, 4 races over the weekend, 2 races coming up shortly for EuroNASCAR Pro, where Loris Hazemans is the championship leader. The teams are getting ready, the drivers are getting ready, and very shortly they'll be heading out onto this 4.2 kilometre or 2.6 mile Grobnik circuit. Some fast sections to it, but lots of corners flow from one to the next. Sunny conditions here. The EuroNASCAR Pro drivers will be racing for 17 laps in the first race of the weekend for the NASCAR Grand Prix of Croatia. Loris Hazemans has managed to put the number 7 Hendricks Ford on pole position for the first race. Let's hear from the pole sitter.
Yeah, it's been a great season so far, especially in qualifying. I really improved something that in the past years I was always a little bit more struggling with. I know I always had a really good race pace, but I was struggling to put it all together in qualifying a lot of times. And yeah, this really turned around this season. So 5th pole of the season, extremely happy with it. It was not easy. Yesterday we were obviously in wet conditions, so completely different. So you know the tire is there for about 2 or 3 laps. You have to do it in that time, but I managed to do it all. So now full focus is on the race.
So the cars are starting to line up on the grid. The fans just getting a last few autographs, and then they'll shortly be onto their formation lap. Let's guide you through the grid. Loris Hazemans and Gianmarco Ercoli will sit there on row number 1, and it will be Vittorio Garelli and Giorgio Maggi on row number 2, with Alan Day and Jacques Villeneuve on row number 3. Up towards the start-finish line. Buckle up, we're about to go green for the first time in EuroNASCAR Pro. Now, Ercoli is door-to-door with Hazemans, and he shouldn't be. He should be running over the grid hatches, so not entirely sure what race control might think of that one, but Ercoli is just going to have his nose ahead, or is he, as they head up towards turn number 1. Hazemans trying to fight it out, but Gianmarco Ercoli, I think, is going to snatch the lead of the race here, but he was absolutely door handle to door handle with Loris Hazemans, and those regulations changed a few years ago. You have to run over the grid hatches on your side of the circuit, and for me, I'm not entirely convinced Gianmarco Ercoli did that. He leads the race with Loris Hazemans in 2nd place, and a great fight going on for 3rd at the moment. It looks as though it is just Vittorio Garelli that is hanging on to 3rd place, but he's got Giorgio Maggi right behind him as they head up towards the next few turns. Ercoli leads, Hazemans in 2nd place. It's the Cal Racing Ford from the Hendricks Ford that sits right behind it. You can see this pair have just got a little bit of daylight between themselves and Vittorio Garelli, the reigning EuroNASCAR 2 champion, who sits there in 3rd position but is still coming under attack himself. Up towards the fast sections of the circuit, Ercole still leading the way. He was the first driver in EuroNASCAR history to have claimed wins in EuroNASCAR 2, stepped up to EuroNASCAR Pro and claimed his first win in EuroNASCAR Pro. That was a few years ago now. A few others have done it since, but he's very, very quick, is Jimmy Jett, and he's now just starting to pull away from Loris Hasemans, who's settled into second place. Werrell, though, has got a queue of cars behind him. Giorgio Maggi, then the car of Jacques Villeneuve, is it not, that sits behind that. Luca Lasserre at the wheel of the number 64 car, and then Alain Day as well. So that's a great little fight for third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh places that are all together at the moment, and if they continually slow each other up, don't rule out the fact that the next of the cars behind, the green and yellow car of Romain Iniesta, might be able to close in as well. So good squabbles going on for the final podium spot, but as I've said, it is difficult to overtake at this circuit, and as long as Werrell gets cleanly off the corners, it's going to make it very hard indeed for Maggi to try and unpick it and try and work his way through into the podium spots. As we go on board, Alain Day, who's at the tail end of that little quintet of cars, fighting for position. Luca Lasserre, the double former champion, ahead of Alain Day, who's a triple champion in EuroNASCAR Pro. Can he manage to squeeze his way through and past the Frenchman? Yes, he gets the run this time, heading into the fast sections of the circuit, onto the brakes at turn number 15. Through goes Alain Day, and he's now tucked up behind Jacques Villeneuve's car as they turn their way through the right-hander and head up towards what shortly will be the left-hander at turn number 5. Almost the highest point of the circuit. So Werrell still hanging on to third place. Giorgio Maggi very much in his shadows, whilst Jacques Villeneuve is just that little bit further off. Now, for the lead of the race, Ercole has been caught again here by Loris Hasemans. So as they come over the start-finish line, nose to tail for the lead of the race. The Italian just ahead of the Dutchman at the moment. And, well, for Loris Hasemans, of course, he is the championship leader. He will desperately like to try and claim another win. He's had 3 so far this season, whereas for Gianmarco Ercole, he has had 3 second places. He hasn't had a win yet so far this year. Nose to tail, almost pushing the car in towards the left-hander at turn number 5 is Loris Hasemans, but Ercole, for the moment, is just doing enough to hang on to the lead of the race. Can Hasemans get the overlap this time as they head downhill in towards turn number 6? No. Ercole sweeps across the nose of the number 7 Hendricks Ford and still hangs on to the overall race lead. Now as they thread their way through the next few little twists and turns into the section of the circuit where one corner blends into the next, which blends into the next. This, if Hasemans just can work his way on the outside at one corner, it might give him the inside for the next, and he's trying everything, but it isn't quite going to work. Good driving by both, pure racing by both. They both hang on to the position that they were in still. Ercole still leading, Loris Hasemans in second place. And has Hasemans decided that discretion is the better part of valour? He's got the championship to think about, 35 points. Isn't quite as good as 40, which is what he'd get for the win, but it's better than being in the gravel or having damage. Over the start-finish line, another lap completed. Look in the background. Vittorio Werrell is not that far away. He's still got bottled right up behind him. Giorgio Maggi, Jacques Villeneuve still coming under pressure from Alain Day, whilst Luca Lasserre has dropped back a little bit now at the wheel of the Speedhouse prepared car. A little bit of front damage to Ercole's car. Doesn't seem to be affecting the performance of it at this stage. And as Gianmarco Ercole heads up towards a conclusion of another lap and over the start-finish line, there's still no let-up in the pressure. Loris Hasemans sitting in the slipstream. Is he going to try anything as they head in towards a break here at turn number 2? No. He might try something on the exit, though. If he can get the overlap, he could be alongside. But no, still good driving by Ercole, the man from Italy, the 26-year-old, still hanging on to the lead of the race, but now everybody is starting to queue up behind. So Hasemans now coming under pressure from Vittorio Werrell, his Hendricks teammate, whilst Giorgio Maggi is bottled up behind as well at the wheel of another Hendricks car. So Hendricks second, third and fourth in the race. Jacques Villeneuve is 5th at the moment and looking to see whether he can manage to perhaps spring a surprise or two. That, I'm afraid, is off the circuit Nicola Gabossi, who is new for this weekend in the championship. That brings out the first safety car of the weekend for EuroNASCAR Pro. Shouldn't take too long to get that car cleared out of the way, and then we'll be good to get things back underway once more. It is a double restart, and as the lights go out, Ercole looks to try and get the jump again on Loris Hasemans. Look at the gap that time between the 2 rows of cars. That's how it should have been first time through, rather than door handle to door handle. So I still fear there could be a penalty going Ercole's way for that first start. He continues to lead on the road, though, at the moment. And again, as they were really, queuing up behind Ercole from Hasemans, from Vittorio Werrell, Jacques Villeneuve, Luca Lasserre and Giorgio Maggi. So it looks as though Lasserre got the jump on Maggi at the restart there. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the white car of Luca Lasser is now up into 5th position, and Giorgio Maggi's newly liveried car, the white and red car, is down to the bottom of the top 6. So Werkele has had a busy old race so far, tried to keep at bay the aspirations of the championship leader and former champion, remember, as well, number 7, which is Loris Hasemans. He was the EuroNASCAR Pro champion in 2019. Gianmarco Werkele has claimed the EuroNASCAR 2 championship back in the past. That was back in 2015, and at the moment he's hanging on to the lead of the race as they head towards the checkered flag. Werkele wins on the road, but will be given a penalty for being out of position at the original start. That will drop him down into 10th position. So Loris Hasemans claims the win from Vittorio Garelli and Jacques Villeneuve. Let's head towards victory lane and chat to the winner.
You have to say it. It's a little bit strange with the battle with Gianmarco Werkele, but he got the penalty and now you're the winner. Just tell me what went through your head when he was in front of you, but you knew that he had a 10-second penalty. I guess you knew it.
Yeah, I still want to pass him fair and clean, but I mean, if you're beside somebody and every time pushing somebody into the grass, I guess it's not much of an option you can do, but it's also one of the reasons probably why I got the penalty, also not for following instructions. So he likes to complain, but for me, no problem. I won in the end, so it was very good. I was very happy with the car, happy with the results that we keep on getting in, and so far it's been a really good season, so definitely happy with it.
Really good season, 4 wins and 11 now in his career for Loris Hasemans. In the junior trophy for those under 26, Ulysse Delso came out as the winner, and in the Challenger Trophy for amateurs in EuroNASCAR Pro, Fabrizio Ametta came out on top.